This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. He can be hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's who I am. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Nope, game is just getting started, and it's another lit one right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. Team Texas Tuesday. I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to be outside the state of Texas. We'll talk about the state because we've got basketball about to tip off in a little less than an hour. Your Houston Rockets taking on the San Antonio Spurs, and I got a couple of questions. I probably have asked these before, knowing me, but I want to kind of get to it a little bit today. And again, all eyes on college football as several major conferences are meeting and supposedly or possibly or reportedly are going to make statements today. That being said, I kind of want to get to the fact that the people that are meeting are the college presidents and their officials. The people that are talking are the coaches and the players. The folks that are meeting about the business are the college presidents who have to deal with all of the business, not just putting a football team out on the field. But there's money involved as far as a whole lot of things go. But then you got college coaches talking. And I do know, but I don't know. I don't think, before I get to it, let me show you my shirt. My shirt, consistent always. That is the product of our own Ashton Washington, the first black, female, and first woman assistant coach in the Big Ten. She is on the staff of Lovie Smith at the University of Illinois, the Fighting Illini, and I am in the fight. I had to get my consistent always shirt. So, great job, Ashton. Great job. But let me get back to my diatribe, my soliloquy real quick. I just don't know if hearing from Dabo Swinney, Jim Harbaugh, Jason Day, and even Scott Frost from the University of Nebraska is the best thing for the sport right now. Like, there comes a time when sometimes you just gotta I got it. Let me don't say a word. I got it. I'll let you know when it's your turn, but right now, let me get it. And I think, because I'm from I'm from the Midwest. I was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, but I'm a Louisiana boy. My mom, my grandmother, aunts, uncles, cousins, Darrow, Louisiana. That's us. But up in the Midwest, up in Ohio and Indiana and other places, they do something called skiing. And in skiing, you don't want to get out in front of your skis because you're going to lose your balance. And I feel like I really am trying to be nice. I'm trying on everything I love, I'm trying to be nice. Like I purposely didn't bring a guest on today or guests because I don't want them to have to hear me cut up like I feel like I'm trying not to cut up like. I'm trying to be nice. But there's some coaches that are getting out in front of their skis. Let me come down south. We say you got ahead of your ski, you got out over your skis. Down here you say you put the cart before the horse. You know, when you got a horse that pulls the cart, you can't have the cart pulling the horse. And football coaches and players, I'm sure I could speak for the majority. Let me say it like this. I know I can speak for all of the football coaches and most of the players. Y'all want to play. I get it. Y'all want to play. Y'all want to play. I get it. I get it. I get it. It's not that it's for me to get. When I say I'm talking universally, not just me. We get it. Y'all want to play. But noting that y'all want to play doesn't end the discussion. There's other things that need to be discussed that many of you won't think about. And rather than holding a press conference and giving your alternative facts to a bigger problem, then let's just be real, then Scott Frost, Dabo Swinney, the head coach up at Ohio State, definitely than Jim Harbaugh. It's bigger than y'all. Y'all are smart as the world is long as far as football goes and probably some other topics too. But can I split a verb or two? Ain't none one of y'all an infectious disease expert. None of y'all. If y'all put all of y'all together in one body and could join your brains, you still would not amount to an infectious disease expert. I'm not even sure if y'all have a fiduciary responsibility to how to manage a college or a university. So let the people who know how to handle those things handle the money issues, the liability issues, and the infectious disease issues. We got your vote. You want to play. We got your vote. Y'all, the players want to play. They want to be protected. I'm with the players. If they can play safely, let them play. We're talking about a group of coaches. I know this is going to hurt some people's feelings. That lie. They lie. They lie to players to their faces. They lie to parents to their faces. They lie to the administration. They lie to the presidents. They lie to the boosters. I'm not saying they all lie, but they all lie. I'm not saying they all lie all the time, but some of them lie better than other ones. So all we need right now is your vote. We need your opinion. And we certainly don't need your lie. I care more about these players than I care about myself. On everything I love these players. Without them, I'm nothing. Bruh, without your check, you're nothing. Without your check from the university, you are nothing. Until somebody else gives you another one. So stop it. Stop. Wait for the infectious disease experts, the medical experts, the president universities, the CFO of the school, the state controller's office. Wait till they figure this stuff out. Just trying to see why what Scott Frost has to say, man. I'm going to play words straight from Scott Frost. Let me take a break. And when we come back, I want y'all to hear the phenomenal head coach of Nebraska. Played football at Nebraska, a local legend in Nebraska. The head coach down there at Central Florida. Led them to a share of the national championship down at Central Florida. And now he's in Nebraska. I want y'all to hear what the head coach had to say. That's smarter than all of the infectious disease experts, all of the other people that have bigger things to worry about than X's and O's and him playing. We'll be right back with more. It's Team Texas Tuesday. If you want to get in on some of this, get in 281-453-1000, 281-453-1000. It's the lunch break.
Nowhere, no.
We all know Election Day is just around the corner. We want change. We need change. We can be the change. Exercise your right for change on Election Day. Don't talk about it. Let's be about it. So let's roll to the polls in record numbers, and we can make that change. This message is approved by KYOK 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOKradio.org.
This Miss Denise back here.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-961-2730. 800-961-2730. That's 800-961-2730.
Having trouble getting focused? Getting your to-do list done?
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
KYOK 1140 and 92.3.
It's inspiring. It's empowering.
It's life-changing.
It's called to inspire with best-selling author and motivational speaker, Dr. Sylvia Cole. Tune in every Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock here on the legendary KYOK, 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOK.org.
You're having your lunch on the lunch break.
All right, got technical difficulties right there. That ain't gonna stop me. that definitely ain't gonna stop me. I'm gonna say what I gotta say today on this Team Texas Tuesday, like I ain't never said it before. If this is my last supper, then baby, give me a piece of salmon, some real good truffle fries, and some green beans, and I'm good to go. I'm good to go. It's the lunch break, Team Texas Tuesday. Let me let y'all hear from the head coach of Nebraska, Scott Frost. And here's what's important to him as the expert in everything, in in infectious diseases and in the economy and in the welfare of other people's children. Here's what Scott Frost had to say.
A lot of these conversations is what the world looks like, what universities look like, and what kids look like if we don't play football. And I haven't heard a lot of people talk about that. But what does the world look like without football? You know, a lot of people around the country are going to point to the fact that all these decisions are going to be financial. Let's skip past that for a second. Let's skip past the fact that the University of Nebraska Athletic Department will lose $80 to $120 million if we don't play football.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Didn't Scott Frost in his intro say that everybody thinks that all of these decisions are going to be about financial? And what was the first thing he said? Hold on. Let me go back. Let me I know I must not have heard it right. So let me go back. I'm going to start it over. I don't want to misquote the man. He said everybody's talking about what life is going to be like if we don't play football, and they think all these decisions are going to be made on financial. Here's what Scott Frost had to say, head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
I think what's kind of being missed in a lot of these conversations is what the world looks like, what universities look like, and what the lives of our kids look like if we don't play football. And I haven't heard a lot of people talk about that. But what does the world look like without football? You know, a lot of people around the country are going to point to the fact that all these decisions are going to be financial. Let's skip past that for a second. Let's skip past the fact that the University of Nebraska Athletic Department will lose $80 to $120 million if we don't play football. The city of Lincoln will lose upwards of $300 million if we don't play football, and the state of Nebraska will lose hundreds of millions of dollars if we don't play football. Let's skip past the fact that a lot of people are going to be laid off, furloughs, lose jobs, and their kids aren't going to be able to have the same things that they have right now while their mom and dad are working. Let's skip past the fact that a lot of schools are going to have to drop sports, and some sports may never exist again. Let's take the financial piece completely out of it.
Scott, if you was my homeboy and we were sitting, you know, in the driveway on some lawn chairs with a old Smoky in between us with some vegan sausages and some carrot hot dogs and some quinoa, drinking a Fresca with 6 cubes of ice and a slice of lemon in it, I'd look over at you and say, bruh, did you hear what you just said? Did you hear what you just said? I got to take a break. I'll be back. I promise I'll be back. I'll be right back.
You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-417-0851. 800-417-0851. That's 800-417-0851.
How'd you like to eliminate your expensive cable bill forever or get new satellite internet where cable can't go? Well, now you can have affordable satellite internet service for a few dollars a day. All you need is a mini satellite installed, and you can have unlimited internet connections wirelessly in your home or office. And no cable boxes means unlimited connections and no clutter. You can surf the internet or stream any of your favorite television services with no cable. And the best part is, satellite internet service costs only a few dollars a day for your entire home. Yes, fast internet to surf or stream television for a few bucks a day. Call now for free details and learn how to drop your expensive cable bill.
800-712-8044. 800-712-8044. 800-712-8044. That's 800-712-8044.
Having trouble getting focused? Getting your to-do list done?
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
KYOK 1140 and 92.3.
It's inspiring. It's empowering.
It's life-changing.
It's called to inspire with best-selling author and motivational speaker, Dr. Sylvia Cole. Tune in every Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock here on the legendary KYOK, 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOK.org.
This is Jasmine Highsmith, and you're having a side of sports with your lunch here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
All right, we're back. We're back on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. I'm trying, man. I really am trying. Can y'all, let me stop the music. I know it's a Christian radio station. Can I get somebody to pray for me? We got any prayer warriors out there? I don't mean prayer partners. I don't need no prayer partners. Some of them prayer partners, they go wrong. They go wrong. Like, you think they really want to pray for you and with you, but they really want to pray on you. So be careful with them prayer partners. But do I got any prayer warriors out of there? Any intercessors? I need y'all to intercede for me, because it don't make it make sense. Keith Hennig, make it make sense, bro. El Michelle, make it make sense. Kelsey Nicole Nelson, Valencia King, make it make sense. Big Mike, make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. Mr. Mo City Gazette, please make it make sense. The man said, let's fast forward past the money, and all he talked about was the money. And it's just hard to take you serious. This is why the presidents of the universities didn't invite the head coaches into the meeting. And I know I need to let the thing play so y'all can hear the man out, but I keep getting stuck on let's fast forward past the money, but all I'm going to talk about is the money. Hold on. Can I play it again? Maybe it's me. I'm going to listen to it with my good ear. Excuse me, is y'all praying? Y'all ain't praying, ain't you? Ain't nan one of y'all praying. Let me play it again. Hold on. Maybe if I play it again, I'll hear it better this time. Y'all, shh. We're going to play it again. Here you go. But go. Talk.
I think what's kind of being missed in a lot of these conversations is what the world looks like, what universities look like, and what the lives of our kids look like if we don't play football. And I haven't heard a lot of people talk about that. But what does the world look like without football? You know, a lot of people around the country are going to point to the fact that all these decisions are going to be financial. Let's skip past that for a second. Let's skip past the fact that the University of Nebraska Athletic Department will lose $80 to $120 million if we don't play football. The city of Lincoln will lose upwards of $300 million if we don't play football, and the state of Nebraska will lose hundreds of millions of dollars if we don't play football. Let's skip past the fact that a lot of people are going to be laid off, furloughs, lose jobs, and their kids aren't going to be able to have the same things that they have right now while their mom and dad are working. Let's skip past.
I got to stop him. I feel so bad for the universities that's going to lose all that money, and the city that will lose all that money, and that the school and the parents and the players are not going to have all the nice things that they have. I know. Before I say it, I know what y'all are going to say. Does he know that people can lose their lives from it? Like, did he fast forward past that part too? I know not a lot of them do. If y'all tell me one more time how more people die from an ear infection than they do from COVID-19, woosah. Let me rub my ears. Woosah. Y'all are amazing. How you couldn't study calculus in high school, but you have become an expert on infectious diseases and the death rate. I love that. That's amazing. You're not who you used to be. You're who you are, and that's beautiful. Hallelujah. But If one person dies from it, does it matter? I mean, I'm glad the school didn't lose all that money and the city didn't lose all that money, but Miss Johnson lost her child. I'm using that fictitiously. If Miss Johnson loses her child, are you still happy that the university made $80 million or $300 million or whatever it was? So are we saying that the value of a child, a kid playing football at the University of Nebraska is less important than the income of the school and the sports departments and the city? I'm just trying to understand, because it's really leaning towards my argument that they need to pay these players like they pay these coaches. Or better yet, since the coaches at state-run universities are so concerned about the economy, how about they take a pay cut? Like, I've not heard, he talking about what we haven't heard. I have not heard one football coach say, you know what, since things are tough right now, do not pay me my $75 million. I want to donate that back to the community while we fight through this global pandemic together. And if they're a state-run university and other people in the state are being furloughed and their money is getting cut and they're being laid off, then doggone it, the football coaches should be subject to the same. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Scott Frost is saying everything that's wrong with the discussion right now. He wasn't done. Let me let y'all finish hearing from the expert on everything. Here we go.
The fact that a lot of schools are going to have to drop sports and some sports may never exist again. Let's take the financial piece completely out of it.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Does he know that in the high schools they're dropping classes because they can't afford it? Like they drop stuff that people need for life skills because they couldn't afford it. But heaven forbid the University of Nebraska have to drop some sports that might not ever come back. You do know that if they drop the sport in Nebraska, it don't mean that it's dropped in Kansas, right? And that same kid that came for the sport that's no longer in Nebraska can transfer to Kansas. Okay, all right, I'm gonna hush for a little while.
Right from the beginning, our priority has been the health and safety of our student athletes. Nothing's been more important. Winning or losing any game doesn't matter as much to us as the health and safety of these kids that we care about and love that are playing for us and for the state of Nebraska every week. I want to stop and talk for a minute about what their lives look like if we cancel football tomorrow. If we cancel football tomorrow, we're throwing up a white flag and saying this can't be done. And if that's the decision that's made, we'll certainly abide by it. But let's think about our players and their health and well-being for a minute. Do we keep them here? Do we send them home? Where do they go? What do they do? What do I do with them? The virus is going to be here whether we play football or not, and our kids are going to have an opportunity to contract the virus whether we're playing football or not.
I got to stop again. I got to stop. Willie Gibson said some coaches have taken pay cuts during the pandemic. Have any of them volunteered to take the pay cut? Like, can you show me a name or a clip or an article that said, I, Jason Day, decide that I don't want The Ohio State University to pay me the $5 million a year that they owe me. I'll take one. Give forward back to the state treasury and pay essential workers. Can I get that article? I mean, I get that somebody had to have the hard conversation with somebody and say, yo, by the way, we cutting your paycheck too. That's different. That's different. Let me get back to this wonderful head coach, Scott Frost. Scott, you're right. The virus exists whether they play football or not. The reason why people who are infectious disease experts are involved and not you is because it's not just about whether the virus is there. It's about areas where the virus can be contracted more easily and then spread more readily. And just because a kid is in a dorm room doesn't mean that he's going to get the virus as easy as if he was out traveling and bumping around against 22, 21 other players and high-fiving and sweating and breathing on and all those kind of things. So I know it's hard to understand that just because the virus is around, and you're right, they could get it whether they play football or not. The question is, does playing football give it a better chance to be contracted and spread in somebody who would not have gotten it that way if they didn't play football? I tried to make it as what I don't want to call him dumb. I tried to water it down just a little bit so he might understand, because he's all in his feelings right now, as I am. Let's hear more from Scott Frost. He's rolling. Go Scott. Go Scott. Go Scott.
I don't have license to talk about the number of players we've had that have tested positive, but what I can tell you is we're very sure that the vast majority, if not all of them, contracted the coronavirus somewhere outside of our building and not in our workouts.
Scott, that's great. Talking to Scott Frost, head football coach for Nebraska in the Big Ten. That's great, Scott, but you don't play in your workout facility. You play in a stadium with hundreds of thousands of fans, and you travel to other people's stadiums where they might not have the same protocol and attention to detail that you have. And oh yeah, by the way, the kids don't just stay in the workout facility. They stay in hotels when they travel. They eat in restaurants and, strange places like that, again, they wouldn't be there except if they were required to be there because they're playing football. So let me let Scott finish. Great job, Scott. What else you got?
Still haven't seen any evidence to say that a lot of these players are getting it in these type of activities. We feel, and I feel 100% certain, that the safest place for our players in regards to coronavirus is right here, where there's structure, where there's testing, where there's medical supervision, where they have motivation to make smart decisions to stay away from the virus, because if they don't, they're going to lose what they love and lose their opportunity to play football. The virus.
Is it just me? So the opportunity to play football is greater than anything. There is one thing that I will agree with him. There are some players, kids, you name it, that will have better care through the university than they might have in their neighborhoods at home. And I'm not just going to say inner city neighborhoods, because that's not always the case. There are people that are living paycheck to paycheck out in the suburbs. I will agree with him on that some of them will have better care on campus than they will at home. But does that mean you have to play football to get that care? Why not extend to them for their price of their scholarship or the tuition that they pay or whatever the benefits are of them being allowed to be a student of the school? Why not do something, I don't know, gracious, like extend to them the medical care that they need to fight COVID-19? I mean, they are a part of the Nebraska community, right? That shouldn't be dependent upon them playing football. And I think the NCAA said the same thing when they said that the school should provide medical treatment care that should not impact even in the form of a deductible from the parents. So, here we go. More Scott Frost.
Virus is here either way, and I would contend that our players are safer here doing what they love to do and being monitored and screened constantly than we would be if we sent them home. They have better access to medical care here. If we send them somewhere else, are they going to have doctors screening them for symptoms? Are they going to have people taking care of them? Are they going to have access to medical care if they do contract the virus? Where are they going to go and what are they going to do? If we send them home, they're not going to have access to regular testing to make sure that we know who has it, who doesn't, who they should be hanging out with, who they shouldn't. Again, I truly believe at the bottom of my heart in regards to testing and the things that we can do for our players, that they're safer here than they are if we cancel season and send them somewhere else. You got to touch on nutrition. If we're not in business here, our kids aren't going to be eating the same way. Nutrition leads to a lot of immune boosting and strengthening. I believe our kids are safer if they're getting sleep and routine, eating the right way, and doing the right things here. I don't know how many of our kids will be able to make it through school if they're not here getting the academic help that they can. I assume because we have a smart team, the vast majority would. But our kids aren't going to have access to those things. Mental health is a big thing.
I'm sorry, before he gets to mental health, so are you telling me that the only way a student at the University of Nebraska is going to get access to their professors, their assistant professors, tutors, classmates, you name it, is if they're on the football team? So poor track players, poor basketball players, poor engineering students, poor general studies students. You don't get none of that if you ain't on the football team. And oh yeah, you got to be here to get it. I'm being facetious for a reason. This is the kind of minutia that gets in the way of real meaningful dialogue. This sounded very good to him in his head, and it sounded very good to him when he was talking to the people that agreed with him. Yeah, you should go and say that. That's exactly what they need to hear you say that, Scott. Ain't nobody talking about that but you. That's why you got to be the one to go say it. But it adds up to a grand total of nothing because it's not completely accurate. If you're telling me that the University of Nebraska is going to shut down all tutoring and all access to assistance for their students because they are not doing the athletic part, then they need to shut down the entire University of Nebraska because they're open for the wrong reason. The head football coach of the University of Nebraska is now about to talk about mental health.
Our players love what they do. They want to play. They want to be here playing. They have mental health support here. Without the structured environment here, I worry about our kids. I worry about our kids in relation to drugs. I worry about our kids in relation to alcohol. I worry about our kids in relation to the decisions they're making outside of any kind of football structure or workout structure. Truly, at the bottom of my heart, believe that our kids are safer in this environment than they are somewhere else. I think fewer of our kids will get it. Fewer of them will get sick. We want to fight for these players any way we can. I'm
going to go ahead and say this, and I'm going to take a break. That sounded great. That sounded really compassionate and considerate. But I don't know Scott Frost's background. I don't know what else he's trained in. But if he is trained in any form of counseling or psychology or psychiatry or psychoanalyzation, then there's a phrase that he ought to be familiar with called the God complex. It's really a nice phrase for a narcissist or narcissistic behavior where you feel like without you, somebody is not going to be able to function and or exist. Now, I'm not saying that every kid is going to be able to function and exist better outside of their enclosed environment at Nebraska. I'm not saying that. But for him to make it sound like without Nebraska, these kids don't stand a chance, that's a God complex. That's narcissistic thinking. Sounded great. And again, people that think like that see nothing wrong with it. But before these kids got to Nebraska and ever met a Scott Frost, many of them had a village, a community that surrounded them, that encouraged them, that pushed them, that provided for them. Oh, but AJ, you don't know that. Yeah, I do know that because they wouldn't be at Nebraska if they hadn't. Now, maybe it wasn't in some, multi-million-dollar home, and maybe they didn't have the nicest of equipment, but somebody got them to a place where they could earn a scholarship and play at one of the biggest conferences in the United States of America. Those people did not disappear because Scott Frost showed up. And I'm just using him now as an example because some of these head coaches, some of these assistant coaches, and some of these people in the athletic department feel like they got a God complex. Without me, you wouldn't be able to do this. Without me. I'm telling you, man, this right here is scarier than Scott Frost himself even realizes. I hope that Scott Frost has a sphere of influence, not where he's the influencer, but where he can be influenced, where somebody can sit him down and let him listen to this and say, Scott, I know what you were trying to say, but here's what it sounds like, bro. Is that what you meant? If Scott Frost has gotten to the point where he is the expert in all things somebody else's kid, I got news for you. Scott Frost is the last place you need to send your child. I don't send my children to school to be replaced. I send my kids to school to be educated. My kids earn a scholarship to play sports. The coaches help them learn how to play their sport that they earned the scholarship to play at their school better than when they got there. So that if it be their desire to play at another level, their time with that coach at that school prepared them for that other level. But mind you, they had the ability before they got to that school, or else they wouldn't have earned a scholarship. I got to take a break, but y'all, if you have a difference of opinion, I'm listening. 281-453-1000. 281-453-1000. I want to hear from you on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
It's inspiring. It's empowering.
It's life-changing.
It's called to inspire with best-selling author and motivational speaker, Dr. Sylvia Cole. Tune in every Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock here on the legendary KYOK, 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOK.org.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? Quick Cash Offer can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents and risking your safety by showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your home to foreclosure. If you have any equity in your home, we will buy it and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call Quick Cash Offer now before the economy gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just don't want to get the cash you need today.
800-780-1431. 800-780-1431. 800-780-1431. That's 800-780-1431.
This is a potter's field. When people can't pay for their funerals, they are buried here. It is a lonely, desolate place, littered with unmarked headstones. No one visits. No one leaves flowers. But it doesn't have to be that way. For as low as $1 a day, you can ensure your family will have the money to pay your funeral expenses. We offer burial insurance plans that pay up to $30,000. Considering the average funeral costs more than $10,000, that's peace of mind for your family. There are no medical exams, your rates won't increase, and your policy cannot be canceled as long as you make your premium payments. Call now to get approved in minutes and ensure your final resting place is more than just a pauper's grave in a potter's field.
800-308-6729. 800-308-6729. 800-308-6729. That's 800-308-6729. Paid for by Final Expense Direct.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-547-4170. 800-547-4170. 800-547-4170. That's 800-547-4170.
Again I say unto you, if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything, it shall be done for them by my Father who is in heaven. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Matthew 18, 19, and 20.
That's the gospel.
And we're KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
I'm Linda J. Another election day is just around the corner. We all want change. We all need change. We all can be the change. If you're not registered to vote, please register today. Don't talk about it. Let's be about it. Register to vote today.
This message is approved by KYOK 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOKradio.org.
Hey, you want some sports with your lunch? Well, tune in to the legendary KYOK at the lunch break. And I'm Raven Rogers.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Team Texas Tuesday. I'll get into the state in a little bit. The Rockets and the Spurs about to jump in just about 10 minutes. We'll be kind of giving you updates throughout the rest of the show on that. Talking about right now the head coaches that are speaking out ahead of the presidents of the universities making decisions on playing college football in the major conferences like the Big Ten, the Pac-12. The SEC coaches and athletic directors support playing in the fall. All of the coaches and athletic directors in the SEC say they want to play. That is a grand total of a zero surprise. That is a grand total of a zero surprise. Let me get back to Scott Frost for a second. Let me let him finish his diatribe, and then I've got another clip that I want to play from him that sums it up. But here's Scott Frost, head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
I'm passionate about this because I care about our players, and our players want to play.
Hi, this is Jason Jorgensen, sports director at KRVN. Thanks for watching our
Jason, thank you for interrupting my that's Jason Jorgensen. He was the one who provided the feed for the deal. All right, let me get away from Jason. Let me get back on what Scott Frost had to say, and then I want to play something for you. This is from the University, the Husker Sports website, or Twitter account, Husker Sports Twitter account. All right, so let me stop. Scott, you don't know how to stop and be quiet. Let me get you on here so that they can hear you. This is what it boils down to for Scott Frost. Hang on. There we go. All right, y'all ready? More Scott Frost. Here we go.
We want to play a Big Ten schedule. I hope that's what happens. Our university is committed to playing no matter what that looks like and how that looks. We want to play no matter who it is or where it is. So we'll see how those chips fall. We certainly hope it's in the Big Ten. If it isn't, I think we're prepared to look for other options.
All right, so in other words, they want to play. They're going to play no matter what. They hope it's in the Big Ten. But if it's not, they'll be looking for other options. So in other words, all that minutia, the kids, their health, the income, the university, all the other sports. It boils down to we want to play, we're going to play, no matter what. Kids get sick, we're going to play. Other Big Ten schools, so what? We're going to play. They're willing to fight to get into a whole nother conference. And their financial ramifications and bylaw issues of just opting out of a conference that shares revenue and all these kind of benefits just so you can go and play when the conference decided to do something different. But for the University of Nebraska, no matter what, they're going to play. They're going to play. Let me let you.
We want to play a Big Ten schedule. I hope that's what happens. Our university is committed to playing no matter what that looks like and how that looks. We want to play no matter who it is or where it is. So we'll see how those chips fall. We certainly hope it's in the Big Ten. If it isn't, I think we're prepared to look for other options.
All right, so again, no matter what's best for the kids now, no matter all those other wonderful things that he talked about before, they want to play. They're going to play, no matter who it is or where it is. And that's from the official website of Husker Sports. Okay, there you go. That's what you're sending your kids off to. No matter what they say to you in your living room about how they're going to take care of your kid and how important they are to the school and all of that, no matter what they say, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to right there. No matter what, we're going to play, even if we've got to violate our own bylaws, even if we got to break our own rules, we're going to play. Yeah, I know he's catering to his base, Willie, but that's the problem. You're not catering to the welfare of the kids that get athletic scholarships. You're catering to the base of the boosters and the fan base and the political base, all while you're sitting on top of, $3, $4, $5 million. I know, AJ, it's a sports talk show, talk sports. This is why you can never separate sports from politics. Because even if it's local politics, even if it's politicking to get your way, it's politics. And you can pull the label off, you can pull the name tag Scott Frost off, and you can put Dabo Swinney on. You could put Nick Saban on. You can go and get the head basketball coach of Michigan State. You can put Jim Harbaugh in. You can put Jason Day. They might not be as ruthless and as blatant as Scott Frost. Same bloodline, same DNA, same way of thinking. I'm just telling you, same way of thinking. So, AJ, what are you saying? I'm just saying, if you have a kid that is talented enough to earn a sports scholarship, do more than just pick the biggest, bestest, friendliest coach, school program, you name it. Let me quit dancing around. This is why I miss Eddie Robinson. This is one of the many reasons why I miss Eddie Robinson. Now, but AJ, that's Grambling. Yeah, but look how many Hall of Famers in the NFL came through the Eddie Robinson coaching tree. And I'm not talking about coaching tree as just he turned them into coaches. I'm talking about they were either coached by him or someone who was coached by him. That man really cared. He didn't talk about caring. He really cared. There's some out there. I believe there's some out there. Unfortunately, not enough of them are speaking up. I'll close it out with this because we got to get out of this first hour. They're going to do what they want to do. The Nebraskas, the UTs, the A&Ms, the Alabamas, the Clemsons, they're going to do what they want to do. At the end of the day, it's too much money for them not to. They're going to do what they want to do. You heard a man literally say, if we got to buck the Big Ten and fight that fight, we're willing to do that no matter what. They're going to do what they want to do. All I'm trying to do is make you aware that they're going to do what they want to do. Question is, are you going to let them do it with your kids and your nephews and your nieces and your neighbors' kids and your church members' kids? That's my question. How are you paying attention to not just what people are saying, but also what they're doing during this pandemic? Because it's very telling. And after you see what you see, are you going to believe them? That's all I'm saying. So I'll be waiting for the announcement. I will be keeping my eye on the announcement for the. I'll be keeping my eye on the announcement for the Big Ten and the Pac-12. All right. As we get ready to go into the second hour, here's a question. The Rockets are in the number 4 spot in the West and can be as high as 2. I don't think they can go any further down than 5, I think it is. The Spurs are fighting to get in, and they do. They need some help to get in. That being said, the Spurs have had a playoff dynasty. I mean, 22 years of straight playoffs? Who's the best basketball team in in Texas? Who is the best pro basketball team in Texas? And I'm talking about pro between the Spurs, the Rockets, and the Mavericks. And I'm not talking about right now. Historically, the best all time, number 1, number 2, number 3. Not football. We already know who that is. Basketball. All right? Let me put this first hour on the books and get the second hour underway right here on the legendary KYOK.
1140 KYOK, Conroe, Houston. The legend continues.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready. Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now that was just the first hour on the books, second hour underway here on the legendary KYOK, the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It's our Team Texas Tuesday. Let me share what a brother posted, and that El Michelle included me in. Mark Anthony McCray said, Mark Anthony McCray said, college football players, we're concerned about our health. America, we're bored and we want to make social issues go away. Shut up and play football. College football players. Okay, well, can we at least get a small share of the billions that we make you? America, that's it. Cancel football. That's hilarious. That's it's sad, but it's true. All the kids have to do is ask for some money. They'll shut this thing down day after tomorrow. Every conference. If the player coalition for the Pac-12, Big Ten, SEC, ACC, and what did I forget? Big 12. If they say we're not playing until we get paid or we get revenue sharing, and we ain't talking scholarships, and we ain't talking image, name, and likeness. We talking pay us. Guess what? They'll shut that thing down day after tomorrow. They will go with anybody that doesn't agree with that and lesser players, or they'll shut the whole thing down. Now, mind you, they're not going to be talking about all the money that they're going to lose then. They're not going to be talking about, the economy then. They're going to start talking about why they can't pay players. It's amazing, isn't it? Kind of like when the people protested staying at home, no problem. When the people protested a man getting killed on national TV because somebody knelt on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, that was the end of the world. They the reason why the virus got spread. When people who didn't want to stay at home and don't want to wear masks carry their AR-15s down to the state capitals, they're good patriots. When people carry their AR-15s to a protest because somebody got shot in the back while running for their life, they're a mob and thugs and unruly. When Scott Frost wants to play football, it's a good, passionate American that loves his country and loves the economy. When the kids want to play, but they want to get paid like Scott Frost, they're spoiled. They don't understand. We give you scholarships. What more do you want? It's amazing. Oh, AJ, you make everything about race. I'll be like Scott Frost. Okay, we'll take the race off of it. And let's just look at it economically. One's a great business model. The other one's an unfair business model. Yep. Hey, I'm not supposed to call a name. Hey, I see you, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. I see you. So anyway. Oh, no, that's wrong. I can't call your name. Y'all, shout out to my good friend, Judge Stacey Williams. Y'all shout out to my good friend, Judge Stacey Williams. I always love it when she tunes in. That's one of your candidates for the state of Texas Supreme Court. So I ain't telling you who to vote for, but that would be a good one if you do. All right, just FYI, just FYI. All right. So anyway, let me get off of this. Great. Tell Bark I said great post. Tell Mark I said that's a great post. I need to have Mark on the show. You know, isn't he a Longhorn? Which one of your brothers is a Longhorn? But anyway, why is it that it's like an assumption that the Rockets are a better historical franchise than the San Antonio Spurs? The Rockets and the Spurs are playing each other like right now. The Rockets and the Spurs are playing each other right now. It should tip off any minute, any second. Like, what are y'all doing? Are they singing the national anthem? Now that there's no fans in the stands, when they play the national anthem, do you stand up at your house? I'm curious. But anyway, why are the Spurs not considered in the same breath as the Houston Rockets? Let's just do a quick comparison. San Antonio Spurs. Can somebody be a note taker for me? San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio Spurs. Let's go to the wiki. Let's go to the wiki. They were founded in 1967. So they've been around for a little while. They played in the ABA till 73 as the Dallas Chaparrals. Then they changed their name to the Texas Chaparrals and played until, or they changed their name to the Texas Chaparrals. And then they became the San Antonio Spurs in 73 to 76. And then they moved over to the NBA in 76. Write these down now. Conference championships. The Spurs won the conference championship in 99, 03, 05, 07, 13, and 14. That's 6 of them. They have won 22 division titles. 22. And they have won 5 NBA championships. 5. All right. Stay right there. Let me go to the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets. Wiki. All right, you ready? Houston Rockets. They too were founded in 1967. They were the San Diego Rockets from 67 to 71. And then they became the Houston Rockets in 71 to now. Conference championships. They won 4 in 81, in 86, in 94, and 95. Division titles, they won 8. And championships, they won 2. 94, 95. Let me go back to the Spurs real quick. Last time the Rockets won a championship was in 1995. Last time the Spurs won a championship was in 2014. Let me take a break. I'll be right back.
In record numbers, and we can make that change. This message is approved by KYOK 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOKradio.org.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-961-2730. 800-961-2730. That's 800-961-2730.
Having trouble getting focused? Getting your to-do list done?
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
KYOK 1140 and 92.3.
It's inspiring. It's empowering.
It's life-changing.
It's called to inspire with best-selling author and motivational speaker, Dr. Sylvia Cole. Tune in every Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock here on the legendary KYOK, 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOK.org.
You're having your lunch on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all. Back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Team Texas Tuesday. Right now, the Rockets are leading the Spurs 12-8. Rockets are not playing most of their starters in this one. In fact, their starting lineup: Robert Covington, Jeff Green, P.J. Tucker, Ben McLemore, and Russell Westbrook. On the bench, Austin Rivers, James Harden, Eric Gordon. Well, he's been on the bench, and so on. So Spurs. Let me see who they're going with. J. Poe, I'm with you. I'm with you. J. Poe, DeMar DeRozan, Walker the fourth, DeJounte Murray, and White. So they're going with their studs. So we'll see if the Spurs can't pull this one out and keep their playoff hopes alive. Before anybody thinks that I'm a Rockets hater and a Spurs lover, I'm a Rockets fan. I'm a Rockets fan. If I did not cover sports, I'd be a Rockets fan. I'm a Rockets fan, and I go back to the days of Ralph Sampson and those guys. So I've been a Rockets fan for a long time. I'm a Rockets fan no matter if Harden's on the team or not. I'm a Rockets fan. So I'm a fan of the Rockets team, and I'm a fan of other players around the league. There's no other team that I rock for like I do the Rockets. I've been a fan of theirs a long time. So. Let's get that straight for one. But just it just always blows my mind how the Rockets are looked upon as the more prestigious franchise than the Spurs. The Spurs have had 10 numbers retired in their franchise history. If I'm not mistaken, and hold on, let me do it like this. If I'm not mistaken, the Rockets have only had 6. Let me see. Let me get back here. I think the Rockets have only had 6. Let me go back. Yeah, retired numbers. The Rockets have had 6. Again, if you just look at the numbers, it should not even be an argument. When you look at playoff appearances and the longevity to that, when you look at number of chips, most recently in 2014, Rockets haven't won anything since the mid-90s. But all the discussion all the time is about the Rockets and their ability to, go further in the playoffs. And is this their chance to win it all? You rarely hear people outside of San Antonio say, "Oh yeah, this is the Spurs' chance to win it all." And I wonder if it boils down to star power. Does it boil down to star power? Because even when the Spurs had the big three, and I know I can expand that a little bit more, but when they had Ginobili, Parker, and Duncan, and even when they had the Admiral before that, all you heard about was Hakeem and Drexler, and then McGrady, and then even Stevie Franchise and Mobley and that crew, and then then you got Yao Ming. And then we got James Harden. And it was Harden and Dwight Howard. And then Harden and Chris Paul. And then Harden and Russell Westbrook. But no matter the star power, the Spurs have been more consistent always, more consistently successful. So why more hype for the Rockets than for a more consistently successful franchise? I mean, the Spurs have had the best coach in basketball for, he's had that title for a long time. The Rockets have gone through McHale, they've gone through Van Gundy, they went through, they haven't gone through D'Antoni yet, but Wilkins, Tom Janovich. I just, I can't figure it out. Why? Somebody help me out. 281-453-1000. 281-453-1000 or text me 832-403-5005. Why all the love for the Rockets over the Spurs? Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, AJ, it's Keith Hennig.
Caller of the year 2020.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I feel like I'm on one today, but I'm saying what needs to be said, I think. I feel like
Yes, you are.
Okay.
And you've articulated a lot of things very, very well, particularly Scott Frost, that's it, he's Scott Frost. So, I think the reason, and I was raised in Dallas, and really I like Texas basketball, all 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Rockets get the publicity and the star power and the crowds. They work in a huge market.
I was just going to go there next. Is it market size? If it's not just star power, is it market size?
Exactly. And you're talking about San Antonio, Texas, which is right in the middle of nowhere, and the base is just not that strong.
Mm-hmm.
But you watch the team play, you watch Pop coach. It's hard to find a better head coach than that.
I mean, if you just go by the numbers, it's not even close. I mean, it's not even close.
That is true. And the Mavericks play great basketball, and they're a lot of fun to watch. And I really enjoy the Rockets team. But I'm a homer, and an hour down the road for me from Austin to see the Spurs play is worth every mile.
I'm not trying to sway anybody away from the Rockets to the Spurs or the Mavericks to the Spurs, but it just amazes me, being an outsider living in the state and covering all three teams, how one team, you would swear that they have been the dominant team forever. And the reality is you've had one team that has been what others like to call a dynasty, and they very rarely get any kind of love, especially since Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker.
That is true, and that won't change. The Cowboys are the same way.
Yeah.
They get big love in Texas, and they haven't done anything.
Yeah, well, compared to the other football team in Texas, they are by far a class above as far as a franchise record. Let me leave it at that. Franchise records, there's the Texans have none. They've got, the ones that we can't find anymore, but they got them. They're theirs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You can't find them anymore.
Yep. Keith Hennick, I appreciate your call of the year 2020. You have a good rest of your day, brother.
Thank you, sir. You do the same.
All right, y'all. That's our call of the year 2020. I agree with him. Market size has got to be a big factor in that. Let me take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
How'd you like to eliminate your expensive cable bill forever or get new satellite internet where cable can't go? Well, now you can have affordable satellite internet service for a few dollars a day. All you need is a mini satellite installed, and you can have unlimited internet connections wirelessly in your home or office. And no cable boxes means unlimited connections and no clutter. You can surf the internet or stream any of your favorite television services with no cable. And the best part is, satellite internet service costs only a few dollars a day for your entire home. Yes, fast internet to surf or stream television for a few bucks a day. Call now for free details and learn how to drop your expensive cable bill.
800-712-8044. 800-712-8044. 800-712-8044. That's 800-712-8044.
Having trouble getting focused? Getting your to-do list done?
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
KYOK 1140 and 92.3.
It's inspiring. It's empowering.
It's life-changing.
It's called to inspire with best-selling author and motivational speaker, Dr. Sylvia Cole. Tune in every Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock here on the legendary KYOK, 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOK.org.
Hey guys, this is your girl Brandy Nelson, and you are listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It's our Team Texas Tuesday. Let me drop in on the Rockets and the Mavericks. I'm sorry, Rockets and the Spurs. See, I'm doing it now. I'm not even giving the Spurs their just due. They just took a 20-19 lead in the first with 3:40, make that 3:34 left to play. Spurs within one of the Rockets. So let me go back to the phone line. Question that I'm asking: why does it feel like the Rockets are the more dominant franchise in professional basketball in the state of Texas, when clearly the numbers favor the Spurs, and it's not even close? I mean, it's just not even close. It's like, it's almost inarguable, but there's something. Let me go to the phone line. Hello, you live on a lunch break. Who's this?
AJ, it's Todd.
Todd, what's going on, bro?
Hey, man, I'm not a baseball fan, but my computer tells me these Astros 7-9.
Listen. I'm wondering, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I've been trying to avoid it. I'm wondering when somebody's gonna come for Dusty because the Astros are 7-9. I'm wondering when that's gonna happen, because they're gonna have to suspend me, because I'm going after whichever Astro cheating fan decides to go after Dusty because he's trying to clean up this mess that they created.
Let me hit you with this. Jose Altuve,
Mm-hmm.
that 183.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the dude that when he crossed home plate, he said, "Don't touch me"?
Wait, hold on. I got it for you, Todd. Todd, you ready?
Huh?
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He. I don't think he can hear it like he used to be able to hear it.
You know, it's funny. You know, this is not a good look for the Astros. I know it's early, but 183, 7-9.
Well, let me tell you what somebody told me. A diehard Astro fan told me is that it's because of injuries. The pitching staff is injured, so the team is struggling. And I'm thinking, your pitching staff is injured, but your bats are healthy. So what are you telling me?
Exactly. This ain't basketball, right? I mean,
right.
The bats have nothing to do with the pitcher.
Right.
They don't have anything. You know, this is not. No, this is not basketball.
Yeah, you might lose 15-14, but either your bats are alive or they're not.
Yeah, you know, in basketball, let's say you lose LeBron,
right?
It messes up everybody else because he's creating shots.
Yep.
It ain't like that in baseball. When you're up to bat, it's up to you only to get that hit.
Right.
You don't need no help. You don't need an assist. You don't need a rebound. No, but so as far as Dusty, yeah, there were some people yesterday. It's funny you brought that up. They came for Dusty yesterday. Some people, I don't recognize the names, but they were like, "See, I told you, we shouldn't have done this, and we shouldn't have brought him in." But I saw that a little bit yesterday that it was kind of trending that way. But then there was some couple of people that fired back that were saying, injuries and stuff like that. But that doesn't explain the lack of hitting.
Yeah, man. All I'm gonna say is this was put up or shut up for the Stros. It's not over. I mean, granted, but it's put up or shut up. And I don't want to hear, oh, the season is short. No. Everybody's playing the same schedule. Everybody's playing the same number of games. Everybody's playing in the same conditions. Y'all said that the Astros are gonna shut everybody up, and they're gonna make everybody, eat their words about what they said about the Astros getting caught cheating to win the World Series. And I don't want to hear everybody else is doing it because now everybody is trying to do it right. You can hear everything. You got all but armed security guards guarding those media rooms now. So it's put up or shut up time. There's not going to be any excuses.
Yeah, I mean, they should have been more motivated than ever. But it doesn't seem like the case. But so to answer your question about the Rockets, the Spurs, I've always looked at the Spurs as the dominant franchise. To be honest with you, I looked at the Rockets as kind of an afterthought with them two champions that Mike gave a king.
You're so funny.
I mean, listen, AJ, they need to retire Michael Jordan's jersey at the Toyota Center.
Stop, man. Stop.
Give those two trophies.
Stop, man. There are people that will fight you for saying that the only reason why the Rockets got the two that they had is because Jordan couldn't hit a curveball. That's the only. They will swear that they would have won those two chips if Jordan had been playing in his prime for doubles.
Man, could they change it from the Toyota Center to the Michael Jordan Center? I'm just asking.
Todd, stop. Stop, man. You're not going to get me chased out of here. So to me, it's a lot like football. The Cowboys it's just no comparison. You can't compare the Texans to the Cowboys for multiple reasons. But if you even normalize it and go, what are the Texans, 18, 19 years old? 19. 18. If you go back 18 years Cowboys, 18 years Texans, you still don't have much of a comparison. You just don't. Bill O'Brien has done a great job and, yada, yada, yada. But the Spurs and the Rockets are the same way. The Spurs are the better franchise. The Rockets are number 2. The Mavericks are number 3. But if you had to talk about upside and, hope for the future and the young talent coming up, it's Mavericks, Rockets, Spurs right now.
Right now, Mavericks, Rockets, Spurs. Definitely Spurs are in third, and there's no argument there.
Yeah, and I'm really trying to see what the Spurs are going to do. You keep thinking they're going to find some unknown foreign player that nobody ever heard of. They're going to find some obscure draft choice that nobody ever heard of, and then all of a sudden they're going to, or they might go like they did before, where they get that number 1 pick and they get the cream of the crop coming out of college, and everything gets turned around. But until that happens, the youth movement that I see up in Dallas versus the youth movement that I see in Houston, I got to go Dallas versus. I'm not saying Luka is better than Harden. I'm not saying that Porzingis is better than Westbrook. I'm saying how many more years do you have out of Westbrook and Harden versus how many more years do you have out of Luka and Porzingis?
Man, I think with good years with Harden and Russ, I think 2. 2, maybe 3. I think 3 is a stretch, though. Because the thing about Russ, man, once that athleticism goes, he really don't have the jumper, in my opinion, to kind of age well like Dirk did. You know what I mean?
See, and you bring up a good point, Todd. I'm loving it because if you look at how Kobe changed his game, you look at how Jordan changed his game, you've got to be able to translate from that power, explosive game when you get up in age, and Russ doesn't seem to have that ability yet. Now, he might get it, but right now, you don't even see it developing. You're not going to be in the 20% from the field when you can't drive and slash and the way that he does and have a long career.
Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to think. A guy that hung around a long time was Vince Carter, and he was real explosive when he was young.
Yep.
But Vince could shoot better.
I was going to say Vince's outside game was better.
Yeah, Vince could shoot. Like Vince, he developed, and he hung around for a long time. Even though the latter years, obviously you lose your athleticism, but he was still a good player. I just don't see Russ aging that well. But man, Russ is such a freak athlete, and I could be wrong in the time frame. He may have 3 or 4 years.
Well, let me say this, because as we were talking, I thought of an exception. I'll give you an exception. Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo has never been a prolific scorer or shooter, but Rajon Rondo has found a way to still do enough of what he can do in spot moments and has hung around, several years longer than what many thought he would following his time in Boston.
Yeah, but you look at Rondo, I don't know if there's any Rondos left after Rondo. Like, Rondo came in the league where they still kind of had the traditional point guard a little bit.
Yep.
And then the league flipped when Steph got there.
Yep.
So, after Rondo, I don't know if another team would let a Rondo in that style of play. Because they're so looking for shooters and spacing and stuff like that. I just don't know if it could survive. I mean, the only guy that I can think of whose game reminds me a little bit of Rondo's would be Lonzo Ball a little bit. As far as can't really shoot, but he does a lot of other things well,
Yep.
Rondo's a good passer. He's a good defender. So is Lonzo, but offensively doesn't give you a ton. But I just don't know how many people can carve that out. But I would say Russ, Harden, 2 or 3 years max. Porzingis, Luka, obviously, 10?
Yeah, I mean, I'd go 7.
Yeah, I mean, Luka's was Luka 21?
Is he 21 or is he 20?
Yeah, so he's got at least 10 years, 10 to 12.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, with the way NBA guys are taking care of their body, he's got at least 10 to 12 good years.
Yeah, he's 21. He just turned 21 in February.
Oh, Porzingis, Porzingis is young too.
Right.
I don't trust. No, so Porzingis is 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say 7. That's good. I get Porzingis to 32. So probably them together got a good 7-year run.
And that's the thing. I mean, I know they don't keep them together like they kept Stockton and Malone and some of the other guys like the Celtics and all that. But imagine those two staying together for 7 years and the chemistry and the other guys learning how to play with them and what have you, man. I'm telling you, upside in the state of Texas, and I'm not let me get this out again. I'm a Rockets fan. If I did not talk this stuff for a living, I would rock with the Rockets. I'm telling you. But upside right now, when I take a look into the future, the Mavericks have a brighter future with what they have today than the Rockets and the Spurs.
Yeah, I would agree on that. The Rockets' window is definitely small, unless they pull off some other move or something we don't know about down the road.
Let me throw this out to you as we mix sports real quick. Before this last draft, I thought the Texans had a brighter future, and of course that's contingent upon Bill O'Brien. But just far as talent goes, I thought with Watson, with Hopkins, and I felt like if they got a true, legitimate running back in there, and they made some changes on D, I thought they had a brighter future than the Cowboys. But I'm gonna tell you now, with what the Cowboys did with CeeDee Lamb and locking up some of their players, Ezekiel and Cooper, and I don't know why I can't put my mind around them not locking up Dak at some point. They got the brighter future to me right now.
Yeah, no, I can see that. That Dak thing is going to be interesting how it plays out. Let me throw something crazy to you.
All right.
Let's say Dak got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say he pulled a hamstring, nothing catastrophic. But let's say hamstring, he out 6 weeks. And Andy, the Red Rifle, hop in there, right?
Yep.
Get hot for whatever reason. And let's say it's towards the end of the year. Now, let's say Dak gets hurt like week 12, right? So Andy gets in there, wins the last 4 regular season games, wins a couple playoff games, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like an NFC championship game. You think Jerry would be like, man, I could pay Andy $20 million, and then I could fix these other spots? Could you see that? I like Andy. I think Andy may be a slightly better passer than Dak. I could see that potentially. When they signed Andy, that caught my interest because I think where he was at in the Bengals, especially when Marvin left, it was a bad situation. But what if that happened? Could you see a scenario where Jerry Jones is like, man, Andy's from here, right? Where Andy would say, hey, I'll take $20 million a year. Give me a 3-year, $60 million deal. And they let Dak walk.
So I'm going to answer your question as a sports analyst, unbiased. To answer your question, yes, I could see that. I could see it for a number of reasons. I mean, Jerry has had to make that decision before when he made the decision for Dak over Tony, whom he loved like a son.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get any harder than that. Would it be the right decision? Would it be a wise decision? No, I think it would be a short-sighted mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Dak's upside has not been revealed. Andy's pretty much. I'm not saying it has been, but pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it becomes the long term versus the short term. You got more long term upside with Andy Dalton, or do you have more long term upside with Dak Prescott?
Yeah, no, I can see that. I think it's an interesting thing that could happen.
I mean, it could definitely happen, and you might have short-term success.
Have we seen that though? Is there in history? Have we seen that where either the asking price from the agent eventually got too high, where they moved the quarterback in their prime? I was trying to think of that while you're talking. Has there been a scenario where there was a franchise quarterback in their prime that got moved just because the asking price got too high, or they just couldn't come to terms? Or does a franchise quarterback, does it always work out where they make them, make the money work?
Yeah, I don't off the top of my head. I'm thinking, the first thing that came to mind was Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, but that was a lot more mixed into that than money.
Yeah.
Then I go to Colin Kaepernick and Alex Smith, but you couldn't have called either one of them at the time the franchise quarterback. They were the better quarterbacks on the team, and for Alex Smith to get sat down when he did and how he did and what have you, again, it didn't come down to money. But Donovan McNabb and RG3, and then RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, the Kirk Cousins was the only thing close I could think of.
Yeah, that's why I said none of them are exactly like what you're asking, but each one of them had some dynamic of this guy was here, we thought we were going with this guy, and I got one for you. Flynn, when they brought him into Seattle and they paid him all that money.
Oh, yeah.
And they cut him and they went with Russ.
Yeah.
Wait, hold that thought, Todd. I got to do a quick break. I'll come back to you. Todd Malcolm joining us here, Team Texas Tuesday on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
It's inspiring. It's empowering.
It's life-changing.
It's called to inspire with best-selling author and motivational speaker, Dr. Sylvia Cole. Tune in every Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock here on the legendary KYOK, 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOK.org.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? Quick Cash Offer can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents and risking your safety by showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your home to foreclosure. If you have any equity in your home, we will buy it and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call Quick Cash Offer now before the economy gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just don't want to get the cash you need today.
800-780-1431. 800-780-1431. 800-780-1431. That's 800-780-1431.
A non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident, or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-547-4170. 800-547-4170. 800-547-4170. That's 800-547-4170.
Today, another election day is just around the corner. We all want change. We all need change. We all can be the change. If you're not registered to vote, please register today. Don't talk about it. Let's be about it. Register to vote today.
This message is approved by KYOK 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and KYOKradio.org.
Hey guys, this is your girl Brandy Nelson, and you are listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, about to wrap it up in a little bit. Todd joining me here on the show. We're talking about better teams in the state of Texas. I think the Spurs, again, no shade at the Rockets or the Mavericks. Spurs are the best franchise in the state basketball-wise. Cowboys best franchise in the state football-wise. And we can give it to the Astros, best franchise in the state baseball-wise, even though they cheated to get their one and only championship. Right now, the Spurs are up 45-33 with about 6:50 to go in the before the half. So Spurs kind of pulling away a little bit. Todd, I caught you right before the break. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I'm looking on Twitter. It said Bruce Feldman posted that Big Ten canceled the football season, so it's official.
Is it official? I was just looking, and I didn't get anything.
Then Brett McMurphy just posted, Big Ten becomes first Power 5 league to cancel fall football. Sources told at Stadium, first reported by Yahoo. Now 41 of 130 FBS programs will not play in the fall, pending decision by Pac-12 today. That's big, man.
That is big. Yeah, that is big. Now, I want to know what Scott Frost is going to do now, bruh. He ran that mouth real strong. We going to play no matter what. Yeah.
Well, here's what I think these guys are going to do, like the Nebraska teams, right? So here's what I want is a better definition of not playing. So if they're canceling it, are they saying, hey, we're just canceling these games, we're still trying to practice, or are we shutting the whole thing down? No workouts, no nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And that's I'm sure we're going to get it. We're going to get it as we get it.
Yeah, because I just don't. I was listening to the radio show this morning. I don't know how you could do the spring. And then turn it back around in the fall. I don't even see how you could even do that. Those guys on that radio show was like, man, that doesn't even make sense. You may have some players that don't even want to do that as far as the wear and tear.
Yeah.
But here's going back to the liability we talked about the other day. Now you have a big conference, a Power 5, that's saying, hey, we're backing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have one of these other conferences like the SEC or the Big 12 move forward, let's just take the SEC because I think they're the craziest of the bunch, right?
Yeah, in fact, just to give you an update on the SEC, their commissioner said that their medical experts gave them the green light to go ahead and play.
Man, you can get that green light. If you pay enough, you'll get whatever answer you want. That ends up with
and you already know it, so go ahead. Go ahead.
If you have enough money, you'll get someone to agree. But here's why I think these other conferences won't do it is because in a court of law or in a lawsuit, someone's going to use that against you of that, hey, the Big Ten was smart enough to not move forward with it. Y'all should have followed suit.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where these other, like the Big 12 and the Pac-12 and some of these other ones, I think will say, you know what, man, the Big Ten's not going to do it. If we were to get sued, they're going to use that against us that, hey, the Big Ten was smart enough not to do it. Why did this conference take this unnecessary risk?
Right.
And that's where I think, but the SEC is crazy. I think the SEC, they're hell-bent to do it no matter what anybody says.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, follow the money. Follow the money. And it's not just the money in the SEC. It's political. That's the Southern Belt. And, those are all those states and places like that support who. And I'm not being anti-Republican or anti Democrat. I'm an independent. Let me say that for the record. I'm independent. But when these decisions are made for other reasons than just the best interest of the players, the best interest of the school, when it becomes to support the president or the governor to show that, oh yeah, everything's fine, we can just open back up, now it's something else. And I'm not going to not call that out so I don't have to deal with your backlash. And I'm not talking about you, Todd, but the backlash of conservatives or even liberals. You know, if you want to fight this fight of politics with me, maybe I can fight with the best of them. I don't want to, because that's not what it should be about. But you're going to have an SEC and the better part of an ACC that are going to go forward, Big 12, that are going to go forward for more than just because it's the best thing to do for the kids. They're going to do it because it supports the political agenda that they want to support.
I heard this morning for the Big 12, if Texas wants to do it, they may do it.
And that's why you got schools that left the Big 12, because Texas is big. Yeah, they drive the money train, but man, it can't be all whatever Texas wants to do.
And I think the SEC, I don't know if it works that way in the SEC of Alabama, you know, ACC Clemson. I don't know if they drive in that train as well.
Clemson drives the train in the ACC.
Yeah.
You know, Alabama, from the standpoint of, you know, the quote unquote big guy, but there are other schools in the SEC that have conference pull. You know what I'm saying? That their conference, their school presidents, their athletic directors, they got pull and they know how to maneuver that.
Yep. Yeah. No. So, man, the Big Ten is not a surprise, but it'll be curious to see what the domino effect is. But man, I'm just surprised that if any of these other, you know. But hey, check this out though. Let me throw this at you. I'm reading this on Twitter. A guy just posted, says if Texas joined the SEC for only this season. So do you think that's what's going to start happening? Is that like Ohio State is going to try to latch onto a conference for a year to play? Is that? I mean, can you even do that?
So from what I understand, it's possible. It's not easy, and in many cases, it's not profitable. There's significant, and I'm telling you now, you know, call me petty or whatever. If I'm the conference president of the Big Ten, and Nebraska, and Michigan, and Ohio State try to leave for a year, I'm fighting them tooth and nail.
Yeah,
I'm fighting them tooth and nail.
Yeah,
I'm whatever the stated penalty is, I'm going for that. Whatever the punitive penalty is, I'm going for that. It's not going to just be your Ohio State, and I'm just using them as an example because I think I've beaten up on Nebraska enough. But it's not going to just be your Ohio State, and you're going to leave me, and then you're going to come back to me as if you didn't leave me before. You might leave, but baby, coming back. Okay.
What if they said, as University of Houston, has that conference canceled it?
No, they haven't canceled it yet. In fact, they got a weird little deal they got right now. They're going to play 8 games, but you can play up to 12 games. So I guess 8 conference games and 4 non-conference games if you want to.
Man, because I saw something on U of H the other day. Was talking, which made me tend to believe that they were trying to push forward with it. But I think Texas is going to try to do something. If the Big 12 shut it down, I really think Texas will try to find a way to latch onto another conference. The easiest one would probably be the SEC. I just don't know how you do that when you're not even part of the conference.
And that's what I'm saying. These schools are going to try. Willie Gibson said, yeah, you can leave. They're going to try and do it. I mean, trust me, they're going to try and do it. I bet Ohio State is on the phone right now. Nebraska's on the phone right now. Michigan's on the phone right now. You know, I bet they're on the phone right now.
Oh, no doubt. They've probably been on the phone because they probably known this was going to happen. So,
but here's the thing, Todd. Be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. And this might be the beginning of, we've seen super conferences or power conferences before. This might be the beginning of, you know, just massive megadon conferences and, you know, further separation of the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah, no, and I know you got to go, AJ, but if that happens and the Big 12 shut it down, man, Texas latch on the ACC, Big 12 may not get Texas back.
And you know, Big 12 probably has more to lose than the Big 10 does, but the Big 10 is not invincible. The Pac-12 is not invincible. The Pac-12 has dropped off in prestige, because USC and UCLA haven't been what they have been used to being. So, none of these conferences are immune or invincible, but none of these schools are either. And that's what, again, man, Scott Frost talked major cash trash. Bruh, I'm telling you, it can happen. Remember when the U was the hottest thing going? Remember when Nebraska was the hottest thing going in the Midwest? Guess what? This stuff is cyclical.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. Well, AJ, I won't keep you. I know you got to wrap it up. Appreciate the time.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, Todd.
All right, man. Take care, AJ.
All right, y'all. Yeah, we do got to get ready to go. Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music and the latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does his thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. In the morning, you got Erica Campbell and Griff. Get up morning, 6 a.m. to 9. Then your boy will be back with Winning Wednesday. David Grubb won't be with me tomorrow again. He's doing the morning show in Lafayette on 103.7 The Game. Y'all got to check him out. I listened to him today. David is killing them, man. A couple of people call in kind of strong, thinking they go bulldoze him, and David is like, back, go! Out of the yard. So anyway, y'all be sure to check. And it's David's birthday today. Y'all be sure and drop by David Grubb's page today and wish our brother a happy birthday. It is his birthday today. David, from your big brother, happy birthday to you, man. As always, y'all, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it except wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wash your hands for 30 seconds or more. Sanitize everything around you. Be sensitive to people around you. Give folks 6 feet. My God, is it hard to social distance? Please. And whatever you do, when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person, the racism, all right? All right, y'all. Y'all take care. God bless.
American boy has died of COVID-19 in Georgia. The youngest victim of the virus.
I can't play that. Hold on. Y'all stay right there. All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Again, I always enjoy being able to hang out with y'all and just speak freely and, kind of open some minds and show different perspective. So, hey, again, I don't know who I'm talking to. Be careful with your kids out there. Be careful with your kids in these major college programs. So when your kid becomes less important than the program and the city and the school and the other sports departments, stuff like that, you got to step up and do what's best for your child. That's not selfish. It's called parenting. So please do what's best for your kids, your neighbors' kids, your nieces and nephews and what have you. Be that village that got your child there. Don't be the village that leaves your child there, okay? All right. Literally, I do. I love you. Y'all take care, all right? We'll talk to you soon.